What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Breaking News. The SBA approves 125,000 EIDL files, but it is Tuesday, August the 9th, 2022. Please do me a huge favor, give this video a thumbs up. Hashtag EIDL with your comments below, and don't forget to join us at trysmallbiz.com, because if you have a small business or a side hustle, we can help you grow your business. Go to trysmallbiz.com tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some great news, but you might notice I've lost 9 pounds since I saw you last week because I'm getting in shape. And if necessary, in the month of September, we're going to sue the piss out of the SBA in the largest class action lawsuit in history. But there's a couple of things we became aware of over the course of the last 72 hours that might make that unnecessary. So, ladies and gentlemen, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine, whiskey on a big rock. Here we go. Oh, come on in here, Helen. He looks totally different. Oh, what did you have, lipo? No, I cut all the crap. No more sugar, cut the booze way back. I'm walking and or jogging 5 miles a night. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting in shape. Because if it's necessary, I'm going on a worldwide, fuck the United States, I'm going global with this. Because we are not going to allow the SBA to get away with the fact that, yeah, there's 125,000 approved files. But if you call the SBA right now, their toll-free 833 number, I'm sorry, sir. The program's funds have been exhausted, and there's absolutely nothing you can do in respect to your reconsideration. But we do appreciate the phone call. That's been going on for the last few days. And by the way, I reached out to Ryder over at Skip for the first time. Basically, I want to get him on the phone and discuss a number of things, including a potential lawsuit. So I'm still waiting to hear back from him over on LinkedIn. More on that later. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what's maddening. There's 125,000 of you, and I said this last week, I'm saying it again. The money's sitting there. They have something called $800 million of idle subsidies that leverages up to $7 billion. Yeah, I know I look much better, at least to some of you. I'm ready to fucking fight those cocksuckers in court if I have to. Don't try me. Wait till I get into my new suit that I just bought. I need to lose about 7 pounds, but I'm going to tear their ass apart in court if it comes down to it. But there's 125,000 files, $7 billion in total, just sitting there. And if you watched Ryder's webinar with Alex at the SBA, who I thought was even more credible than Patrick Kelly, who, by the way, he works for, they both confirm the same story, at least with respect to the first of two requirements that we have for the SBA. And that is, there's 125,000. I keep saying this because I want them to hear me and do what they have to do to fix the problem. There's 125,000 files that are approved. And as I told you a month ago, and we'll discuss this again tomorrow in another video, you could have emailed the SBA and say, mail me the closing docs. That takes 7 weeks. Almost every single day, one of your friends on this channel gets funded. The last one was about 3 or 4 days ago. I read out loud an email from an SBA loan officer. The gentleman got $113,900. Every single day for the last several months since the portal closed on May 16th, someone gets funded. How are they getting funded? They send an email. They say, mail me my closing docs. You got to give your name. And I've done this a million times. Go look it up. Your account number, etc. 6 weeks later, it shows up in the mail. They call you up. They say, I just sent that over. When you get this in the mail, sign it and send it back. And it's generally 2 to 3 weeks-ish before the money shows up in your account. All told, from when you take the first step to getting the money, 2 months to 2 months and a week or two. By the way, we also learned from Alex, who again works for Patrick Kelly, that they are in the process of fixing the problems with anyone that had money kicked back. So the SBA tried to send money to one of your bank accounts, your bank and or credit union, etc., kicked it back. And you've been chasing it down now for the last 6 months, if not longer, right? Well, they're aware of the problem. The problem is, however, They didn't explain in the webinar or in the Senate hearing last Tuesday in front of Big Ben Cardin, who's well aware of the problem, by the way. They didn't explain how you're going to get your money if it's bounced back. So here's the facts before I get to a potential lawsuit. 1, there is $7 billion approved for 125,000 people, and Alex told Ryder it's just sitting there. It's going nowhere. So do not worry that you're not going to get the money if you're qualified and obligated. It's sitting there. The problem is, and Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen and Jackie Rosen and all those people I follow and tag about, 25 times a day now? They're well aware. I'm certain by now they've either called or sent over another letter. The problem is we're dealing with the federal government. Miss Guzman, I've tagged and tweeted at you and called you and emailed you, I don't know, a dozen times in the last 3 days. Why in the hell can't you or someone on your team, I don't know, maybe Patrick Kelly, get everybody on a Zoom and tell them what the fuck is going on? And that is, we are not taking any new applications. The website says that. You can't enter in a new reconsideration yet. But if you're one of 125,000 people that's obligated, yes, you can claim your money. What's your account number, sir? Miss Guzman, you need to give the customer service reps the ability to say whether someone that calls is fucking obligated, AKA or approved or not. Because if you don't do this over the course of 3 weeks from today, September the 2nd, Friday at midnight, I have no choice but to sue you. And I'm telling you right now, if I have to sue you, and I don't want to, as lean and mean as I look right now, it's going to be the biggest PR nightmare that the SBA has ever had to deal with. I can promise you that. Part 2, and this is even more interesting. I did not see, how about yesterday, huh? I did not see the webinar that Ryder did with Alex at the SBA until after I did my last video. Had I seen that webinar and heard the numbers of unworkable files that got moved around, I would not have done that video. Because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't regret doing so. That's 2 years of frustration that I'm sharing with the world on your behalf. But we learned in the webinar with Alex, who again works with Patrick Kelly, the unworkable file a couple weeks ago was 60,000. And what was I screaming about in my video last week? That a third of you in that pile of 41,000 that Patrick Kelly told us in the Senate hearing, you must be legit, because I know that from experience. Well, it turns out the SBA feels the same way. The file was 60,000. What Patrick Kelly failed to say is they moved over 2 days prior to the hearing, let's say the Friday before, they moved over 19,000 people. So they actually did me one better. I said give you one more chance because a third of you in the unworkable pile are legit. You did your taxes, but human error, for whatever reason, prevented you from getting your EIDL loan increase. Well, the SBA, Patrick Kelly and his team, moved a third of you over. So instead of giving you one more chance, they just fucking approved you what they love to call obligated. So if I step into the court of law today and the judge says to me, why are we here? Well, Your Honor, I did a video where I blew up, I think it was August the 5th, and I said the SBA had to explain how 125,000 people are going to get their money because they're obligated, and then that Miss Guzman had to give at least a third of the unworkables one more chance. I have here notes, Jason, that the SBA actually did you one better, and they moved a third from 60,000 over to 41,000 out of the unworkable into approved. Is that the case, Miss Guzman? Yes, it is. Wah, wah, wah. So here's the deal in closing, and we'll cover the events of the last 24 hours in another video. The two demands I made, 125,000 of you are already approved. The SBA's customer service is a fucking train wreck. Congress knows it. Cardin knows it. Jackie Rosen knows it. Chris Van Hollen knows it. Nydia Velasquez knows it. But getting that message over there and training up these people, in most cases that have no idea what they're doing, is kind of like trying to turn the Titanic before you slam into the fucking iceberg. So, given that and the fact that they moved a third from 60 to 41 into the approved obligated file, it sounds like the ball's in motion to get you guys both of what we need. And that's the 125, get a clear example, an explanation on how you get your money. And everybody that was in the third that was legit that got moved over, what's left? I'm still going to push as the light goes out. Yeah, I told you, God has a sense of humor. He's pretty impressed with the weight loss. Are you guys? I mean, you got, what's he been doing? Is he on drugs? Is he smoking crack with Hunter Biden? No, never touched the stuff in my entire life. Believe it or not. I did some other things, but never touched. Until next time, I'm very optimistic that most of you are going to get your money. Don't miss tomorrow's video. I hope to have information back from the SBA. Hopefully customer service is going to get this. Until next time, always remember that I love you guys. And by the way, we need your support at trysmallbiz.com.